I watched this thing on an airplane, so it was tough.
So it's about you watched the postage stamp.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I watched it on your forehead.
You probably watched it on a computer on a laptop, though, right?
I watched it on my tablet.
Okay, so that's not that much smaller than what I watched.
Oh no, it was probably very similar. I did the Dan Goodsell this week. I didn't do my 70-inch plasma TV.
If they're gonna spend 50, 75 million on special effects, I need to watch it on a laptop.
The least we can do is watch it as small as possible.
About 6 inches in height.
That's all the respect they need, all right, or deserve.
Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. Hey, watch him with Dan and Tony. It's like watching, yeah.
Welcome to Hate Watching with Dan and Tony. I'm Dan.
I'm Tony.
And we are the busters of the blocks. We're the blockbusters, the blockbusters blusters.
Yeah, that's us, the blockbusters.
So each week we look at a movie, watch a movie, and then we talk about it. And this week I got to pick the movie, and I picked the movie Secrets of Dumbledore, Fantastic Beasts 3? Is that right?
There is no 3 to it. Also, those are backwards. It's Fantastic Beasts, The Secrets of Dumbledore.
And this is the third movie in the Fantastic Beasts series.
And we are not doing the other 2.
Who knows? Who knows if they're going to do the other 2? They haven't said.
I mean, listen, we'll talk about it more, but if it ended, I don't think anyone would be upset.
Yeah, I think they said that she wanted to do 5 movies, and that I guess whoever the studio is, who's the studio on this?
It's got to be WB, right?
WB? I don't know.
Warner Bros.
Warner Bros. They sort of said diminishing returns on these movies makes us think that perhaps so
they're not wrong. It's not like these are cheap movies to make. And listen, she says that she's got like 5 movies planned. But the amount of contradictions between 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 and 1 to 3 is astronomical. There's no way she planned any of this out, and it's a mess.
Well, I mean, she's planned it out in that Magic Hitler's going to fight Dumbledore in the 5th one, and it's going to be 1945.
Is he even still Magic Hitler? In number 2, definitely Magic Hitler. Like, Johnny Depp is full Hitler in that. Well, that's a weird way to say that, but like, he's crazy in that movie, and very much like, we're going to kill them all. And then this guy's kind of like, yeah, maybe we'll kill him. I don't know. Let's have a war. Why not? Mads Mikkelsen playing it totally chill. It's just very strange to me.
I will say about this movie, I had no idea what was going on most of this movie.
Yeah, I watched all 3. I had no idea what was going on in this movie.
And we'll get to some of the salient points about how it's very funny that how little I know what's going on. There's so much in here that's like sort of service of things that like have nothing to see. I saw 1, I liked it. I saw 2, I thought it was terrible.
2 is still the worst, I think.
Oh yes, I think
as much as I didn't like this movie, 2 is still far worse. This
movie isn't. I wouldn't say it's a bad movie. It's just not a good movie because there's a lot that's great in this movie, and then there's a lot of things where you're scratching your head and you're just like, if this movie made sense, it would be a good movie. It doesn't make sense, so it's not a good movie.
And part of it is not its fault because 2 is so here's the thing. As a movie, it's not the worst movie we've ever seen. As the 3rd film in a so far trilogy, it's garbage because none of the timeline makes any damn sense. It's wild. And they just contradict 2 because they're like, well, 2 is pretty bad. So let's just change all the stuff people didn't like about 2, but not explain why or how. We're just going to change it. It's very strange. It's really, what they're doing is just bizarre. I don't think this has ever been done like this before.
So I'd pretty much forgotten what happened in 2. I remember that the Credence, something happened to him and maybe he went crazy and killed a bunch of things or destroyed a bunch of stuff. And and the end of the film,
I think it's the end. We reveal that he is Albus's long lost brother.
So they
His
reveal he's his
brother.
brother?
They say it's his brother. And then I read some stuff and they're like, well, because it's Grindelwald that said it, right? So they're like, well, he was lying. And I was like, why would he lie about that? There's no character motivation for him to lie. And then it turned out to be like, well, no, it's not your brother, it's your nephew.
So wait, Grindelwald knew that he was his nephew or brother?
Well, he knows that he's a Dumbledore. That's for sure. But where he lies in the family tree changed between movies. So I don't really know what to believe.
Now, does he still have at the end of two? See, because I've completely forgotten a lot of the the subtle points of Bellatrix Lestrange and that family tree who's not even in any of these movies but play this gigantic role in these movies. I guess I don't know.
Sure. Well, Mr. Lestrange is in. I can't remember which Lestrange it is, but he's the guy that like goes to the dark side in this.
Well, we're going to talk about him.
Got it. Sorry.
He's by far the worst part of this whole movie.
Whew, okay. All right.
That's where I'm. I mean, yeah, we'll talk about all. There's a lot to talk about in this movie because okay, so okay, so I'm trying to wrap my head around anything in this movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know where this movie ends. So I'm going into this movie like I don't really know what happens in the other movies.
I'm viewing this as better.
Well, I'm viewing this as a movie, and at a certain point, I'm just like, who
are any of you people?
And you're like, if they didn't have all this backstory and just made a movie, it would have probably been a good movie.
Well, I don't know about a good movie, but it would have been better. It would have been made a little more sense. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a mess.
We're gonna start with spoilers. 2 hours and 22 minutes, made in the year 2022. Interesting.
Okay.
So we start with Dumbledore meeting Mads Mikkelsen, and he's got this weird chain on his hand, and we get explained that they used to be boyfriend and boyfriend, and they have these magic talismans that make it so they can't act against each other. Which
don't know, man.
Doesn't mean anything.
Well, not only does it not mean anything, but then he goes on and displays what would happen if he thinks about acting against him. But then the entire movie is his plot acting against him. How does that make any sense?
His exact plot. Not even like he's like...
Right.
Not that I want you to kill this dude, but maybe he could be killed. Go off and do something. He like literally orchestrates everything.
I'm going to plan every moment of this. And I'm the only person that knows everything. The whole point is like everyone has their own jobs and you all can't know each other's jobs because that's how we're going to somehow confuse the guy that can see the future. So stupid. But then he's the guy doing it all. He should be dead. I think. He
should totally be dead. And most importantly, it's almost as if Dumbledore can... not Voldemort, what's his name? Grindelwald. Grindelwald supposedly sees like 3 tiny visions in a sideways mirror that we can't see and have no idea what they are.
Right.
And then somehow Dumbledore literally knows everything about the future. He knows things couldn't even imagine guessing could happen to characters. And it's like, you're gonna get bit by a poison asp, and this is the only cure. Put this in your pocket, and then this
just
person
case.
Randomly teleports and gets bit by this asp, and he's like, "Oh, lucky!" There's just
thank goodness you were here.
It doesn't make any sense.
Well, magic, okay,
but it's one thing to give Willow like the 3 magic acorns.
Great.
It's another thing to like give them like this specific thing that's going to be necessary in a specific situation that could never be predicted.
Unless it was the Matrix. And then I get it.
The Matrix?
Yeah, when that one lady in the Matrix is like, I know the future. And then like she's like, here's what's going to blow your mind. Would it have still happened if I didn't tell you? So it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
But she knows the future.
Right, that's what I'm saying. So like it makes sense in that movie. Dan, listen, it's early, man.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
So they used to be boyfriends, and so they took on this thing so that they couldn't act. So if they ever broke up, they couldn't act against each other. And now I read on like the Harry Potter Wikipotter,
Sure.
and it said that like Grindelwald had this exact same opinions he has now, and was like, "Gotta kill all the Muggles." And then
Yeah.
Dumbledore was like, "Yep, gotta kill all the Muggles. Let's do this together."
They're saying, and listen, let's while we're still somewhat early in the show, let's
Right?
say that we are not Potterheads. I don't think either of us would identify as someone who is really rich in the Potter verse. And maybe this was mentioned in the Harry Potter movies. I don't know. But when they were talking about it and they're like, oh, yeah, Albus used to want to kill everybody. And now he's changed his mind. I was like, whoa, wait, what? Dumbledore, like one of the greatest wizards of all time, was on the wrong side for a while? I don't know. Feels a little weird.
So did they say this in one of the movies that he was literally on the wrong side, or are they like getting this out of?
No, they've talked about it, that they were like together, and then the brother. So I guess actually they must have talked about it in the Deathly Hallows, because the trinity of the Deathly Hallows is, yeah, okay. So I guess it must have been brought up, and I just never really thought about it too much, because they were definitely together, and then Aberforth, the brother, confronts Albus, and that's how the sister dies in the Harry Potter book. So yeah, I guess it's canon.
So Dumbledore started out as evil wizard.
I don't think he called him, like, considered himself an evil wizard, but yeah, for sure. But this is important for the end of the movie to remember that he at one point wanted to murder all the Muggles along with his boyfriend, because the ending is very confusing to me.
Oh yeah. Now that I know that. So, them hooking up, interesting. I mean, I have the feeling it's, whatever. We're not going to get into her being a turf, which
is that what it's called? Let's just call her a shitbag. How about that?
It's interesting. I was reading a thing where somebody was giving away a copy of this movie, and then everyone got angry at them because of her opinions. And the guy was like, what's wrong with her? And the woman's like, she's a turf. And I'm like, just say she's transphobic. Don't people love using these stupid terms?
I still don't know what it means. You've said it a couple times.
Something phobic, something. I don't know.
Okay.
Exactly. We don't know.
Yeah, okay.
It's like, you could say MIA, missing in action, things that everyone knows, but turf is not a term everyone knows. So just say she's transphobic.
Yeah, or just, an awful person who apparently is not a good writer, even though for a while I thought she was.
She's a terrible writer. I read those Harry Potter books. As writing, they're terrible.
But at least the story is compelling and makes some sense. You know what I mean? Like, between the 8 books, like, you read some stuff in book 1 if you go back and reread them, and you're like, oh shit, this actually ties into the 8th book wonderfully, and you don't even know it until it's completed, and it's great. That is not what's happening here. It's the opposite of what's happening here.
So now we have the part that makes you think. You're like, you get that first scene, you're like, okay, this is interesting. See where it goes. Now we get this next scene bit, and I'm like, holy shit. Maybe I'm going to just sing the praises of this movie, because this next bit is great. We got Newt going down the river.
Yeah.
Gets to this place in the jungle. Here's the monster beast, climbs up there. The monster beast has a baby. The baby comes out. The baby's super cute. Attacked by evil wizards. Runs, tries to protect baby. We have all this great wizarding. We're just like, holy moly, he's doing good. The case spits out arms, and it's running. He ends up in the water, and the bad guys go for the baby, and they steal the baby, and he's like distraught. He goes back up there, and the beast has another baby. There's another baby. I'm crying. I'm almost crying again now. Oh my God, this is like, it's beautiful. It's emotional. It's fantastic beasts. Oh, which is, my God, this is the movie I want to see. And then the rest of the movie
seeing it.
is not that movie.
You are not.
And it's so tragic. The scene is beautiful. looks
I have
gorgeous.
listen, I have some
Oh,
problems with this scene. You're right. It is beautiful and it is the most fantastic beasts scene in the whole movie. Here's the problem. Number one, Fantastic Beasts is fun. It's great. It's visually beautiful. All the monsters are fun. Fantastic Beasts 2, they're just like, by the way, this is not a movie about Fantastic Beasts whatsoever. This is like a political nonsense rigmarole. And then number 3 is basically like, who's Newt again? I don't remember Newt. Yeah, he's Dumbledore. I don't understand. Why is this even still a Fantastic Beasts movie? This is a Dumbledore movie, right? Am I crazy? Newt he just lifts right out of this movie. As much as I enjoy him in the movie, plot-wise, very unimportant.
well, that's see the reason why that is because there are no plot points in this movie.
Okay.
I mean, actually, this is it's not a actually that's where you're kind of wrong. It's a Grindelwald movie actually
Okay,
because
no,
he's the
yes,
only
I'll
one
buy
that
that.
sort of has plot points.
Yep, you're right. You're right about that. Absolutely. It's just not a Newt movie, which is what I
No,
think people want to see out of the Fantastic Beasts series. I could be wrong. Listen, they're doing great because, this movie did gangbusters, right? Oh, did it not?
it did.
Idiots.
I think it did. I mean, it did the worst of all Harry Potter movies.
Yeah, well, there you go.
So we have this beautiful castle on the side of a mountain. They come there. There's Mads Mikkelsen as Grindelwald again. He's great. He's just like, what a great villain. If he got to actually be villainous a little more, it would be
Sure.
better. But you're just like,
It's,
this is a pro.
I don't know. Listen, and this is just because I watched all 3, right? As someone who, is relatively coming into it new, right? I'm sure he's great. This is the 3rd actor for this role in 3 movies, and they're all so different. They're so different. There's no way it's the same person. So it's hard to reconcile when you watch them together because first of all, it should have just always been Colin Farrell. The twist at the end of the first one where it's like, hey, Colin Farrell, he's Scooby-Doo mask, it's Johnny Depp. Terrible move. It's the worst.
Was there a reason for that?
I maybe financially, I don't know. It's basically just like this guy you thought was this guy in the first movie is really the bad guy of the whole thing. I didn't care. It did, and I was just like, Johnny Depp's not as good as Colin Farrell, just straight up.
And I mean, Mads Mikkelsen probably a little better than Colin Farrell, but Colin Farrell probably better as Grindelwald.
100%. I agree. And I mean, I have nothing against Mads. Is that how I'm going to call him? Mads. It's just like they've all played it so differently. So Colin Farrell was like this kind of suave, like, "Ooh, yeah, well, you don't know if I'm dangerous, but I am dangerous." Very sexy, very great. Johnny Depp is like, "I'm fucking crazy. Everybody look out." And then Mads is like, "I'm very calm, but I'll probably kill you." It's just there's no way it's the same character. There's no threads. I don't know. It's hard to swallow.
And if you kind of think about it, like this Grindelwald has like wormed his way into like all this power in the Germany Wizards. I'd buy that from Colin Farrell. I don't buy it from him because he doesn't ever do
Agreed.
anything that gives you the implication. You have no understanding how he has attained anything he's attained.
Yeah, he doesn't have that. And again, nothing against Mads. I don't feel like he has the charm in this movie to kind of, to get people to believe all that. But maybe it's just me.
And, it's like back when Voldemort, controlled a certain amount of wizards, you understood why he controlled all those wizards. It made sense.
Because he didn't have a nose. People,
missing that nose.
People follow him.
So he kills
real quickly, hold on. And this is, I don't know, again, not super versed in Harry Potter, but I'm pretty sure that those wizards at the beginning with the dinosaur, it's not a dinosaur, it's a horse thing. It just reminds me of Jurassic Park. Sorry. I think they're slinging the death curse at him, right? But then
you're asking me. Are you asking me?
You're right. I don't know. You're not the guy. It seems like they're slinging death curses throughout this movie a couple times, and it doesn't seem to react the way that it reacts later in Harry Potter, which is like insta death. But like this horse thing is like, oh, I'm dead for sure, but I'm also alive for a little bit, so I can pop out another baby. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. The magic is confusing to me as just a casual observer of Harry Potter. It doesn't feel like it matches up.
Sure, that would yeah. So we're at the castle, and then they show up. Mads gets the little horsey creature, and he's like doing it. And then I'm like, oh, the guy with the long hair is the kid from the last movie. They don't say his name. They don't like say his name for like
That's true.
an
Yeah.
hour, and I'm like, I have no idea what his name is. I don't remember what his name is. I saw this movie 3-4 years ago. I don't remember all these random characters' names.
Oh, that's so funny.
And they pan up to the window, and I'm like, oh, who's this mysterious hot blonde?
Oh
That's
God.
Queenie. I don't know that. I don't know it's her. She's got
Well,
like a different haircut, I think. I mean,
yeah, oh, for sure.
she's very attractive, but I'm like, I don't know who she is. They don't tell me who she
Queenie,
is.
just pretend Queenie doesn't exist. Queenie is the worst, the most mishandled character in the history of the world.
So Queenie was like in love with the Baker dude, and then at the end of the last movie, she decides to go to Grindelwald for what reason?
There is no reason. There's literally so first movie, she's like this super sweet witch. She's very powerful, but like very sweet and kind of naive. And she's like, "Why, I love you, Jacob. We're the best." And then
she can read minds. Is that what
she
she
can
does?
read minds. Yeah, she's very useful for sure. I understand why Grindelwald would want her, but her going to Grindelwald doesn't make any sense. He wants to kill Muggles. She's in love with a Muggle. How? Why? What? That doesn't make any sense. And then so he loses his memory, Jacob, in the first one.
They take his memory.
Well, do they though? Because he seems to remember everything pretty quickly in the second one. It's stupid. They were basically like, "Oh, well, everyone liked him. I guess we should bring him back." Yeah, and then they did.
Wait a second. You think
yeah.
he was just supposed to be in the first movie?
I don't know. Don't they? I think they obliviate him.
Yeah, they do. I think Grindelwald.
Obliviate. Your memories are gone, bro. They're gone. But then they're not gone. He's like, I remember some things. That's not the way Obliviate works. It just you lose your memory. It's it. Boom, bada boom, you're done. But then he's back and he's remembering stuff. And then Queenie is like controlling his mind in the second one. She's just immediately a terrible person. Doesn't make any sense. And then she's like, oh, and by the way, murder all the Muggles. She goes over there. And then the third movie, she's basically like, well, how did I get here? I don't want to be here. I'm a good person. None of it makes any sense. There's no character motivations. It's all garbage. This poor woman, she's doing her best.
So throughout the movie, she's like reading minds and giving him information. And sometimes she gives him false information.
Yeah.
We never know when she gives him false information.
No, she hints that she's doing it, but we don't know why, how, when, where, who, what.
So and then Mads kills the cute little thing, and I barely made it through that.
Yeah, that was unnecessary, I feel like.
Then he sees, I mean, I understand you do that. You set up that he's terrible and you take it on a little animal. I understand this is horrible, but
they show a lot of it.
Oh yeah, they revel way too much.
That much. Yeah. You don't. Yeah. You can just hint at it, and we're like, oh, he's a bad guy. But they like live in it for a while. Big mistake.
Then in the blood, he sees like 2 or 3 visions. I guess he sees 3 visions, which is what's his name holding the wand. I read online what the 3 were, and you're like, and just from these 3 little snippets, he's going to figure everything out somehow.
Well, he's really smart. He's the smartest guy ever. And I'm watching it. I'm watching this stuff in the blood just like him, and I didn't understand it. So I guess I'm a big stupid head.
Nope. So it's really, and so basically he has visions of the future, which he's going to be able to act on perfectly, maybe sort of, who the fuck knows. And then he also has a mind reader. We never set up the mind reader, and what I was saying is when he's getting false information, and at which point he gets special false information that we know is false, and he's going to act on false information. You have to have that happen.
That is correct. Yeah, that's like the pivotal moment of her redemption, but then also like how the story's going to turn, because he's pretty much in control. Just straight up, he's winning, guys. I don't know.
So we go to Hogsmeade, and Dumbledore's there with Newt, and he sort of shows him the thing that's going to kill him if he does anything, and it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense on multiple levels. I just want to say this scene is cool. I thought at first, because like it's intense and the things like, I don't know, it's trying to escape maybe after he's thinking about bad things, like scratching the walls and it's like gonna tear stuff and he's hurting. And then, but then when it happens later, none of that happens. It's a completely different quote unquote effect. And I was like, well, what? What's even happening then? That doesn't make any sense. Why set this up early in the film if you pay it off completely differently later? Bad storytelling. That's the answer.
So the idea is Newt's going to go do some stuff.
Yeah, but stuff that doesn't really matter, so it's fine. Just get him out of the main story for a while. We got stuff to do, guys.
So Credence is back there. He's talking to somebody in a mirror, and the mirror asks for forgiveness. I, of course, assumed that this was like he was talking to a ghost or somebody in something from
Yeah.
another movie, and I
Yeah,
do
it makes
not know
sense.
what any of it means.
Yep. I watched all three, and I was still like, what are we talking about here? Don't make any sense.
So now
I mean, it definitely doesn't make sense because in the last movie, he's not even his son. So it's very confusing.
So we're at Jacob's Bakery. He's like having complete delusions of making out with Queenie. It's very weird.
I thought for sure when he like looked out and there was someone on the bench, I was like, oh, someone's mind controlling him. They're not.
It's just
He's just lost his mind.
Having lucid hallucinations.
Very, very, very real.
For no reason whatsoever.
This poor guy.
This other magician, Lally, comes in there and is like, you gotta come help. And then he's like, no. And then he's like, okay.
Okay, no, you're right. I'll do it. Do you like her? Did you find her good?
I was gonna say her voice and inflection is incredibly annoying.
Right. So I think she's doing like a 50s era, like,
hey there, boys. Let's go down to the Bijou and watch a movie film.
Exactly. Why is she the only one doing it though? Everyone is in the same time period. But she's just I don't know if it was so weird to me. I was like, well, she must be a time traveler and she thinks she's doing the period, but she's not. That never came out. I don't know.
Weird. So he agrees and they go off and boom, we're on a train and there's like random ministry guy there who, of course, I figured out later was Newt's brother because they don't say that immediately because you don't ever want to say things immediately.
Well, Dan, this is the third film in a series, okay?
Yes, and
if you don't know Theseus, that's on you.
You have to assume, you have to introduce, when Credence comes in there, Mads has to be like, Credence, what have you done? Or, and it's like, we first see Queenie, say her name.
Things. Yeah, well, for sure.
You've changed their hair and their outfits. It's like they're showing me these characters. It's like I don't know who this guy is. It's his brother. So his brother's there. Who,
by the way, Dan, I don't know if you picked up on this because they do it, then not at all. But he's mourning the loss of his fiance from the last movie.
What?
Yeah, isn't that great? Yeah. She died, and he's fine. He wasn't fine last movie, but he's fine now.
Well, a bunch of years have passed. This is like 7 years later.
But she is a Lestrange, and so the brother guy in this movie, when Mads Mikkelsen is like, I'm going to take the memory of your sister, that is Theseus. Is that his name? Theseus? Theseus. That's his fiance. Oh. So he's fine. The brother's still upset, but he's fine. It's okay.
So wait,
super weird.
So Grindelwald killed his fiance,
right?
And and at no point does he ever get angry.
Cool. He's cool with it. She was probably pretty naggy, to be fair. Like, do the laundry, do the dishes. So he's fine. It's bizarre. It doesn't make any sense. And then the fact that I know I'm jumping the gun, but when he takes the memory, I was like, that's what the movie's doing. This is like the symbol of the movie being like, we're not going to deal with this at all. Throw it away. Get it out of your minds. So stupid.
So, yeah, we're going to talk about Yusef. So Bunty's there. Bunty's in love with Newt. Right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
It's kind of sad because he's like pining after Tina, and so we know that nothing is ever going to come of that.
And they're two very socially awkward people. And so it's almost hard to watch because it doesn't even dawn on him like whatsoever. And she's just like, I'll do anything you want. I'll do anything. I don't know. It's very weird.
It's very weird. And then we get Yusuf Kama, who I have no idea who this character was. I was like, I don't understand this character, and this is
Sure.
by far the worst part of this movie because I have no idea who this character is. And then we, at a certain point, we maybe get like a dump. He's going to spy on Grindelwald.
Right, but he knows it, apparently.
Grindelwald like knows it and
Yep.
still lets him in, and his whole plan is to spy on Grindelwald.
Yeah.
But what's the magic thing he got? He got nothing. Of course, he got
Right.
no magic thing
Well,
because he doesn't
he's
do
going
anything.
in exactly.
So he goes there and doesn't do any spying and plays no role in this movie.
Correct. Yeah, except he walks around sometimes. He shows up every once in a while. You're like, oh, I remember that guy from the movie, and then we move on.
And Tina's busy. Why is Tina not in this movie?
I have absolutely no idea.
I kept waiting for Tina to show up, and I'm like, "Where's Tina?
Well, she does. She shows up at the end for 34 seconds. I have no idea. It's super weird. I love that they like mention they're just like, oh yeah, she's busy doing wizarding stuff. I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, it's the end of the world, but she's busy doing wizarding stuff.
No. She's not doing wizarding stuff. She's doing office work.
Yeah.
She's not like stopping volcanoes and shit. She's just like working in an office.
If she like showed up at the end and then was suddenly a part of the plot like the whole time and it's like, I've been working behind the scenes, that would be cool. And you still don't have to pay her for that much. You know what I mean? But just to be like, nah, she's too busy to help save the world. So it's cool.
Well, and there's some like random character who we were like, oh, what's that random character? Boom, turns into Tina. You're like, oh shit, that was Tina. That was Tina.
There you go. That's some fun writing. I love that. Nope.
So we get to Berlin, and Bunty's takes the case off, and we see Anton Vogel, who I through the next 20 minutes of the movie thought was Grindelwald.
Oh, dude, yeah, they look so much alike. It's wild.
So I just assumed that was Grindelwald in disguise.
Yeah, I think that is a total. Yeah, I agree. And they do their hair the same. It's weird. It's weird how much they look alike, and nobody wants to be like mention it. No one's like, "Hey, you're definitely this guy. He's definitely this guy. Let's keep you separate."
Put some hair on him. Do
something.
A big spiky mustache. Give him a little hat to the side. Whatever.
I love a tilted hat. Those are nice.
So something goes on. I wrote something goes on. Like one of Grindelwald's people sets fire to this banner for no reason.
Yeah, I don't know.
And in the midst of this, they're in there having tea.
Yeah.
And then they have to go up to Vogel and say, do what is right, not what is easy.
Which is like a Dumbledore thing. Fan service, sort of,
So we get a big speech from Vogel. He's like, the leader's going to be chosen in 48 hours. You got Asian guy, Hispanic lady, peaceful transfer of power. All voices are heard. And then Grindelwald's minions appear. And then the dude's just like, and Grindelwald's absolved of all crimes.
Yeah. Batshit crazy.
How is that? I mean, like if
absolutely crazy.
If you're up for crimes in the magic world, you got to go and stand in that thing where you're in the middle and there's a million people sitting there and they act in judgment on you. This random dude doesn't just make that decision.
But apparently he does, because that's the way things work pre, laws. I don't. It's so I don't know, and I think it makes less sense when we both were thinking that this was Grindelwald the whole time, and I was like, well,
you thought that too?
Yeah, I did, and I think maybe it's because we're watching on small screens, so they would just look the same. And I was like, well, of course he's gonna absolve himself. Why? I don't understand what's happening. Why is everyone surprised? But also, this is like a hierarchy in the wizarding world that I don't think we've ever heard of before.
What's he even getting? What's he getting voted into, and who's doing it now?
Yeah, I think he's just like the king of the wizards, right? So
I don't know.
He's the wizard king.
Because like when the Pope dies, then they send out the smoke, and then they make up a new Pope. Like this is like who's taking over from what? Who to what? To why?
That's what the chinchilla is there for.
No, I understand the
I know.
process of how they decide, even though we don't understand the process of how they decide because nobody votes.
Nobody votes. The chinchilla bows. Here's
Chillin'.
no, it's a chinchilla.
Chillin'.
The chillin'.
Quilin. Chillin'.
How the fuck does QIL spell chillin'? That doesn't make any sense, Dan. Don't spell it like it makes sense then. That's worse. Chillin'. At one point, I swear, someone is like, we used to allow chillins to bow in front of our people to vote our people, but now we do something different. And then they go back and they do this. And I was like, wait, what are we talking about here? I don't understand what's happening.
It's kind of like nobody decided that's got to be chillin'. Okay.
Right.
But he just, since there's a chillin' available, let's just do
it.
It's like,
yeah.
We were all going to vote for president tomorrow, but a chillin' showed up, and so problem
Yeah, so
solved.
I guess we'll just listen to this animal that doesn't know anything.
And more importantly, couldn't that just be an illusionary chillin'? I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, it is. It's a chillin' that's been mind controlled or brought back to life, I guess, with something. I don't, dude.
Somehow, when you bring a chillin' back to life, then you control its mind?
I guess so. That's cool.
Different smells.
I love magic. So this scene didn't make any sense to me because, and it still doesn't. To be fair, that doesn't fix it. Me knowing that they're two different guys doesn't fix it because I still don't understand why or how he's absolved of all of his crimes, and why there's not like a police force or like the Aurors. Is that what they're called? Why aren't they there? Why isn't the Ministry of Magic saying these? I don't understand.
Where's
anything.
The Ministry of Magic in all this?
Theseus is like the head of it, right?
No, Theseus is not the head of it. He's not.
I don't know, man. It doesn't make any sense, and they don't even try to make it make sense. They don't care.
So they absolve him, and then Theseus sees somebody that did something, and so he attacks him, and then they all zap Theseus and take Theseus away.
And it so easily. They do this twice in the movie, once to Theseus and then once to Newt at the end. It's just like a sucker punch from behind with one curse, and then that's it. There's no like cool fight scene since he's a fucking magic guy. It's just like, I'm walking. I'm not walking anymore. Shoot.
He has to have Lally next to his side, then they can defeat 10 wizards. But without Lally,
so he
can't beat one guy.
You grow in exponential power. So like 1, and then you go 1 to the 10th, 2.
So then we get this nice long scene of Dumbledore and his brother talking about the killing of the sister, and
sure,
don't
yeah.
care.
I mean,
stop staring at that painting of your stupid sister. I do not care. You're not.
So here's my problem with it is that I think it's Deathly Hallows, the last book, Aberforth is basically like, Albus is a terrible guy. I don't know why anyone would have followed him. Like, the whole world is crazy. He's bad. He's a secret and he's a liar. But in this movie, they're just kind of like, we're not super close, but like, you're still my brother and I love you.
Well, more importantly,
weird.
They sort of get along, and through the course of this movie, they become friends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make any sense because he's mad that he killed his sister. I mean, that's what it is. Maybe that was their falling out.
Maybe you could do a thing where in this movie they sort of are where they're at, and then Dumbledore is forced to kill his son, and Aberforth turns on him. Great. Wouldn't that lead up to it?
Hey, maybe that's movie 5. Maybe.
No.
Well, I mean, we're never gonna get it, but you never know.
The kid's already dead.
Well, is he dead though? I mean, I watched a chinchilla come back to life pretty easily.
So the Jerky Boy, Credence. See, they still have not said. They still keep calling him Jerky Boy because I do not know his name. They still have not said his name at this point in the movie.
That's all right. I called him Flash the whole time. So
there it is. I don't know what that means.
He plays the Flash in the DC EU.
Oh, and that's not the hyped up kid, is he? That's not.
What does the hyped up kid mean?
I mean, he's got a bunch of issues. That kid.
He's that's him. Yeah, that's Ezra Miller. Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Yeah.
Oh, he's a piece of shit. Oh.
Yeah, he got arrested just, not too long ago again for like assault and battery or some shit.
I think he has some mental issues, maybe.
Of course he does, but
No, I think
it is what it is.
I think he has some real Psychic.
We're not gonna try to fix it as a society.
Nope. So he tries to kill Dumbledore, and Dumbledore just hits him with a drop of spit, and that means he wins.
Drop a spit.
It's like he just spits,
Yeah, that's it.
and
He's
that's
like,
it.
not today.
That's all it takes for him to win a battle.
Hey, well, he's the most powerful wizard, so
Now, why did Grindelwald think he could just send this stupid kid to kill Dumbledore?
it doesn't make any sense. I
I
mean,
mean, more importantly, what shouldn't his thing choke him to death when he sends a kid to kill Dumbledore?
that's what I'm saying. These things don't make any sense. They're like, we can't even think about it, but all we do is think and plan and plot and try.
Now,
It doesn't make any sense.
hold on. Does Grindelwald have that thing around his neck?
I don't know, Dan. Here's the thing. I only remember Dumbledore's because then in the end they show it breaking, right?
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck that scene is. So I don't know if he has one. I feel like Dumbledore's the only one that's got one.
How does that work?
It doesn't work,
How does he
Dan.
not have his and you still have yours? Seems like you make a blood pact on something, you break the blood pact, you just sort of die. And if he could bust it, why can't Dumbledore just bust the stupid thing?
Right. And not only that, like he holds it all the time. In this movie, not so much ever before, but
well, they said Grindelwald's was around his neck. That's why I kept expecting him to pull back and at the first scene when they're talking about it, he's like, I've had that thing around my neck for too long or something.
I see. And maybe it's the same one and he just like handed it to Dumbledore then. He's like, I don't want to wear this anymore.
So now we're going to get to the most outrageous part of the whole movie.
That can't be right, but continue.
Bunty goes to this dude and she's like, you got to make, how many copies of the case does he need to make?
A dozen? Is that what she says? I don't remember. 7.
Half dozen.
Half dozen. I knew there was dozen in this scene.
So how many cases do they show in this movie?
I don't know.
Maybe you don't know.
There's like a circle, right?
Yeah.
So
how many are there?
2, 3, 4. I'm going to say 6.
There's 5.
Damn it.
Why is she having 6 cases made plus the initial case,
plus the original, which is 7?
And when we get to dividing up cases, there are 5.
Because there are 2 secret cases, Dan, that no one else knows about for the future. That's how you fix future seeing people.
Why would you make it specific of saying half a dozen cases when you need 4 cases? Just say, I need 4 cases.
Just be like, give me a couple. And then, then whatever number comes out is whatever number comes out. There's stuff like that all over this movie where it's like they make a point of saying something specific and then they just confound it later for no reason whatsoever.
So Kama goes to work for Grindelwald, and then Grindelwald steals the memories of his sister for what reason we don't know and we don't care. And
I
Kama
just
doesn't
told
mean
you what the
anything.
reason was. It was like, we are not dealing with this nonsense, so just forget about it. Everyone's forgotten. You forget too.
Yep. And then, now's when Credence goes and fights Dumbledore. They go into the mirror realm. And
right. I don't even know what this is, but we see it a couple times.
And the Phoenix.
It's like somebody saw Doctor Strange and was like, "Oh, that's cool."
He sees the Phoenix because he's a Dumbledore, and then he does some psychic surgery on the kid. He's like playing with his brain.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it's magic. You can play with people's brains. There's no laws against it, apparently.
So somehow Newt goes to go see his brother in this insane prison, and they just like let him walk into this insane prison.
Here's the thing, Dan. I thought that he would be like in a cell or something, like harder to break someone out of. It would be my thought of the prison.
Well, he doesn't have a wand, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, okay. So that's the only way you can break people out of stuff is with your magic wand. These people rely on magic too much. They use it as a crutch. That's what I'm learning. All right. Magic is a crutch. Be a human. But he just walks into this very dangerous place and then just cuts his brother down, and then they just kind of walk out with the crabs. I mean, I know exciting stuff happens, quote unquote. But if there's all of this dangerous animals, like the big snake thing and the little dancing scorpion guys, are you just going to let a civilian walk in? I don't understand. That's like a liability. If he dies, you're in trouble. I
And,
think.
and we have this whole thing with these fireflies, and when these fireflies go out, then the manticore strikes and kills you.
I guess
And
so, yeah.
like, why are the lights going out?
I don't have an answer for that. Just the bug got tired, probably.
It's
He's like,
just
man, I've been glowing for at least 20 minutes. I need a nap.
okay.
The
Then
rules.
they're going to Lally and Jacob go to a big dinner, and then all that stuff with the scorpions. They escape, whatever. Did you hear that noise? I keep having that weird noise.
Does it keep happening? I wonder what's
Yeah, it
going on. I
happened
wonder if I have a
again.
loose connection.
Yes, weird. It's happened
I
a couple times.
apologize.
It's okay. So they escape. I mean, the animals, the little animal that steals gold. He was great. He grabbed gold. It was. I mean, every time we start dealing with the little animals, it's like it's great. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
movie I want to see. I want to
If this
see.
were a Fantastic Beasts movie, it would be great, Dan.
I want to see Newt have to go rescue his brother from this thing, but in the context of he has to rescue his brother for a reason.
Yeah, for sure.
He's like, he needs his brother to get into the ministry. Then we go to the ministry and he's got his brother with him. And then he has to go to this place. And then Newt goes this place. But no, we have 100 different plot lines, all of which I don't care about.
Yeah, and Newt's only in one of them.
Newt's barely in one of them.
Yeah.
So they're at the big dinner. Jacob sees Queenie. And then Credence shows up. And then they try and poison the Santos. For no reason. There's no reason to poison Santos because their plan is to get the whatchamacallit to bow and he automatically becomes it. So there's no reason to kill anybody.
No, for sure not.
And they kill her, try to kill her in the weirdest way. They have this specific guy bring this glass of poison that turns into a blob that's going to attack or something and everyone sees it. There's no secretiveness to this murder plan. I mean, it's just like anybody could have just wanded at it. I could have done. I'd have been like, oh shit, wand.
Yeah, but your wand wouldn't work just like Jacob's. So.
Yeah, Jacob's wand. And then
Can you explain that to me? We'll get there. It's a Jacob wand thing. I don't get it.
What the bit is?
Yeah, I don't get it.
That's like one of the tricks is they're going to see this guy with a wand and they're going to worry about him and not worry about something that's important.
Oh, okay. Cool. It's a good plan. I'm glad it worked out then. I'm glad he took out his wand. I don't know. It's bizarre. I don't understand anything in this movie.
Is Dumbledore's way to set Jacob up so that Grindelwald would have a good reason to proclaim war on the Muggles?
Well, that can't be right. Isn't that not what he wants?
But that's what happened. I mean, he knew that everything was going to happen, and that's what he set up happening, right?
You're right. Maybe he still wants to kill all the Muggles at this point. That's the twist in the next movie. Is Albus still bad?
Still bad.
Still a bad guy.
So then, just all this stuff happens. Yeah, and then there's just this big fight, and then they run up these pages of the book and they escape.
Yeah, take a port key out or whatever the fuck.
So Dumbledore,
I think we're getting close to the most egregious part of the film. I'm excited.
I'm sure I didn't even write it down.
Okay,
so everybody goes back to Hogsmeade. The election's going to happen in Bhutan. They're having dinner with the brother. We learn that Credence is Aberforth's son. And then Dumbledore unloads on Scarmander that Credence is dying. And then he talks about how his sister was an Obscurium too.
Yeah.
And then he talks about how they killed the sister accidentally and nobody knows whose bolt killed her because everyone was just bolting. Bolting.
Yeah. Yep. Innocent bystanders.
Grindelwald sends Kama to do something. We don't know what it is. And then he does this thing in the pool where he raises the Qilin back to life. Nice scene. Very creepy.
Sure.
This is like what the movie should be, but it's not what the movie is.
Yeah.
And then, and somehow during all this, he figures out that there's a second Qilin.
Yeah.
Don't know how.
Okay, good. I thought maybe I missed it because this is where I started to like get real tired on the plane and start I'm like dozing a little bit because this movie is not holding my attention. And he was all of a sudden, this guy was just like, "Oh, there's a second one." there's a second one, Credence. You failed me again. I was like, wait, did he tell him? How does he know? Credence didn't know there was two.
Oh,
Nobody knew there was two.
because there was some more blood in the water, I guess, from the little creature, and so he got bonus. He got bonus.
Bonus visions.
Bonus.
He got more visions, baby.
Yeah, I think
don't
that's
know.
the idea.
It's stupid.
And it's stupid because he should have known about the chillin at the bonus chillin at the beginning, and that's what the movie should be about. Is tracking down the bonus
he's
chillin.
setting up his plan. He also has to kill that chillin at the same time. Like there should be.
He shouldn't have to kill Santos.
Messy.
It should be about that. It should be about protect the chillin. And then
100%.
I buy the whole thing where they're like going in 100 directions and doing all these things, and we have all the cases, and then we're like,
right, because he knows, because he
chillin'.
knows that it's alive and he's chasing it.
Act 2 should be the chillin' chase. I'll
Chillin'
buy that.
chase, baby.
And then they lose the chillin', and so then they have to show up, and then they have to retrieve the chillin', and then Tina appears. She's been the secret agent the whole time.
And saves the day.
Saves the day.
Or she could not be in the movie at all. Either one, 50-50.
Oh, you hate Tina, don't you?
I mean, she's not great. I never thought she was very good. But at the same time, it's still an important character of your story, and to not use it is asinine.
So everybody goes to this little gate, and now we're at Bhutan, and Vogel gives a speech, and he's like, "We got a chillin', so the chillin's going to unite us, so basically the chillin's going to make our decision, and that will make us all happy." I don't know how that works.
Yeah, exactly.
So Wizard Hitler's up there. Yeah. If this thing bows to him, I'm still not going to be convinced, right? Why would I be convinced of that? I'm not an idiot. Are you
saying, Dan, let me ask you a question. Are you saying that you don't believe that when Punxsutawney Phil comes out and declares it winter for 3 more weeks, you don't believe it?
Think about people. Maybe wizards are all a bunch of idiots. Maybe wizards are a bunch of dumb idiots. Okay. And they it's written on the door, must be true. God said it was this way, I guess it's true. But the other 50% of us are like, give me some fucking proof.
Right.
You may have your magic deer, your magic book, your magic this, but I'm not buying it because I know there's, first of all, we're wizards. There's illusions.
Yeah, that's what's weird. Like, they really rely a lot on something that was very easily controlled. Like, he didn't even try that hard. Nope. And it was just like, I won.
There's this old Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Tom Baker plays the evil wizard. Every time he does magic, he pays a price and gets older or has to sacrifice something.
Sure.
If fucking Grindelwald had to pull out 3 teeth to bring this thing back to life, have him pay.
Yeah, do something.
Let's do something. This is necromancy. He just I got the pool, did some necromancy, it's done.
It's all good.
Magic. I can bring anybody back to life. They're going to walk in circles the rest of their lives. But
Such
they're back.
As Credence. He's coming back, baby.
Now, hold on. We skated past this too fast, and I shouldn't go back to something.
Well, I'm going to go back to something later, so this is fine.
How is the Sister in Obscurium? Does that work?
Oh, dude, I have no idea. Listen.
Okay.
I think no. It just doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I try not to think about it too much. She's not even in any of the stuff, so it doesn't matter. You know what I mean? In the end, she's dead. Who cares?
So we're in the streets. We're going through the streets, and Dumbledore tells Jacob, "Don't doubt yourself." When did he ever doubt himself?
He hasn't doubted himself yet. I thought maybe that was another one of Dumbledore's in the future. You're going to doubt yourself? Don't do it because we're relying on you. That didn't come to fruition either. So not only he didn't doubt himself in the past, the future, or the present, but Dumbledore very supportive,
So we do through the maze. 3 of them get caught. They open the one case and it's full of bread, and we open the other case and it's full of books, and the books explode, and the breads did not do enough. I was very disappointed with what the breads did. I wanted those breads to push through the streets for a mile and do all kinds of bread shit.
I love it. I'm often disgusted with bread. So.
And then you're disgusted with bread? What the fuck does that mean?
That's what bread's bad for you, right? Carbs and
But
yeast.
you like bread.
I mean, I love bread, but I'm,
Okay.
I'm a big fat idiot. So
Okay, so Jacob sees Queenie, grabs Queenie. They're in this
mm.
little corner, and you're just like, "Oh my god, I'm getting emotional again." It's fucking. He's in love with her. Like it's a love story. It's beautiful. Queenie's. I mean, you're just like, "Oh my god, this is great." And then that lasts for exactly as long as that scene is, and we
Also,
never get that
again,
again.
doesn't make a lot of sense. Like, I get it. I like the scene, but you have to earn that. In my opinion, you have to earn that, and you did not earn it through 3 movies. I'm sorry. You didn't do it, guys.
So Newt's walking up the thing. He got through everybody, and then this lady just takes the case away from him. Just takes it away.
Well, they fight for a little bit. They hold it together. And they're like, no, this is my case. And then he just loses because he's feeble-minded. Or physically. That's what I meant.
So weird. And then
Is she pretending to be she pretends to be like a good guy, right? She's like, Dumbledore sent me, right? Isn't that
yeah,
what she says?
which was
I
really
don't know.
weird. Didn't make any sense.
None of it makes any sense.
And then Common knocks out all the bad guys because he was really a good guy, and we're not sure how he could just knock out all the bad guys because he does, but he does.
Well, magic.
Walk of the Chillin'.
Long walk.
Yeah. Newt's case just evaporates.
Yeah, now, did they think that they killed the chillin'? No, I didn't understand what was happening.
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
So the zombie Chillin' comes up there, bows to Grindelwald, and then there's no vote. Everyone just starts shooting things
Everyone's
off.
just like, yes, we knew it from the beginning.
Yay.
Yeah. Very
And
stupid.
Then he tries to kill Kowalski, but doesn't really kill him. He just makes him makes him uncomfortable.
Which again, like, what spell is he using here? I'm confused. I am confused.
And then he's like, "Let's go to war with the Muggles because that's what everybody wants."
Because who gives a shit? Yeah.
Then Credence testifies.
Yeah, he's lying to you.
Oh, he lied. That's what it means. Testifies.
Yeah.
I had no idea why I wrote that.
Yeah, he's the one that's basically like, he's a bad guy, guys.
And then Bunty just walks in with the case and then opens up and there's a bonus Chillin'.
Yeah, super easy.
If you'd have been seeing the future, you'd have just seen all that.
Correct.
You'd have been
because
like,
they didn't do anything. Yeah, it's not like we gave like multiple different endings, and he's like, "Which one is the real one? I can't decipher it." It's their whole plan hinged on one person having the case the whole time.
There's this movie called Jump. You ever seen that movie?
Maybe, I don't know. Talk to me about it.
Chris Evans.
Yeah.
Everybody's like psychic. He can.
You got the superpowers,
and they do the end thing where
I think it's called push.
Yeah, push. And so they all have secret things because they got the mind readers, and that's how you do it.
100%.
You do that, and then you have somebody's mind wiped, right? And everybody thinks the case is this case, but the minds are.
But it's not.
Whoa! Wouldn't that be interesting if Dumbledore had done the thing and then erased their minds?
Yeah, it would have been.
He sucked that out with his little wand. Boom.
No. Instead, we're gonna suck one character that you shouldn't remember from the last film. That's all we need to use that for.
Did not even remember that character.
I can't get over it. It's so stupid.
Yeah. Watch the movie Push. You idiot.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. Yeah.
No, I mean, what's your name? Queen of Turf. That idiot.
Yeah. Ugh.
So he bows. He goes off, and he bows to Dumbledore. So he bows to Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Now,
Let's
Tony
talk about
Tony
this stupid fucking scene. Oh my God. First of all, just in general, what makes Dumbledore interesting is he's not like this pure of heart guy. The whole story, he uses children for his war in the Harry Potter books. He's a good guy, but he's not a good guy. Like, he's doing by any means necessary, he's going to win this war against Voldemort. Like, that's his thing, and he's a great character. That's what makes him great. Also, he was all on board with killing muggles. Like, I'm a bad guy, and he's like, you know what? Maybe this isn't the best idea. That makes you pure of heart? Just like one day realizing maybe I shouldn't murder 6 billion people. I guess. Oh, and this is so fucking stupid. When that thing walked over and he's like, "Oh no, not me, not me." I was like, "Of course not you. You're not a good guy." So dumb. This chillin's broken. That's what I'll say. Both chillins were dead and brought back to life. Neither of this is real.
It's rattling around in the case, poor baby. More importantly, who should he have bowed to?
Listen, I don't think either of the people that he bowed to, because I don't even know the second person.
No, but you got to answer the question. Who should he have bowed to?
Well, he should have bowed to Newt, probably.
Nope.
Really? Who do you think?
Oh, I know exactly who he should have bowed to. He should have bowed to Kowalski.
Then can he bow to a Muggle?
Why? Why not?
I don't know.
Pure
I don't know the rules.
Right? Kowalski, don't doubt yourself.
Are the rules?
Kowalski's the only one in this whole thing that's pure of heart.
I mean, you're right about that. There's that nice line where he's like, "My heart's full. I love you." Yeah, you know, he's like the only good person. I think Newt's a good guy.
Yeah, but Newt's yeah.
But it's his movie.
But if
supposedly,
if the thing went over and bowed to Kowalski, right? And he's just like, "No, man, no," and then it goes over and bows to Santos. Fine, okay, that works.
Sure.
Can
we talk about it bowing to two people, because that doesn't feel like that should be allowed?
Oh, it's pure heart.
You think there's a minimum of two pure-hearted people? I'm sorry, I don't buy it. First of all,
you're saying there's only one pure-hearted person in the whole world?
I'm saying if there is one, we're lucky.
It's not that Santos lady.
No, for sure. I mean, we don't know anything about her. Like, we know, for a movie that hinges on this election so much, we learn nothing about the other people.
Nope,
nothing at all. So then when it goes and bows to her, I was like, who gives a shit? I don't know her. She's not in this movie.
Nope. We know nothing about her.
This is terrible storytelling.
And then there's a fight, and then Grindelwald just leaves.
Yeah, and so is this where he gives his like little, "I was never your enemy. Not then, not now," and then he leaves? Is that his shit?
Could be.
Because I don't understand that at all, unless Albus is still, wanting to kill Muggles, essentially.
Probably does.
He's like, "No, we're on the same team. You just, you don't like my methods." I don't know. This movie, oof. So let's talk about the breaking of the chain, the amulet.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't understand why it's a completely different reaction to when he does it earlier.
Here's their explanation.
Okay, yeah.
He's not acting against him. He's acting in defense of someone.
You think so? Those are different?
No.
Oh, good. Okay. Listen.
That's what
they
said.
I don't know nothing.
None of it makes sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And also, last thing I'll say about the magic. Again, I'm pretty sure he's sending the death curse to Credence, and then the two brothers are like, "We're going to stop it." As far as I know, that spell can't be countered. I don't think that's the only person to survive the death curse is Harry, and because it's the love, and that was like the biggest thing in the world. They're like, "Oh my God, this guy survived the unsurvivable curse." And now we're just doing it willy-nilly, it seems like. Like, we don't give a fuck about anything anymore.
I mean, why do you think this is the death curse?
Because I think he's trying to kill him, right?
But it's just like, maybe it's like, 66 of damage.
I'm going to take half your hit points right now. I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe it's like a magic missile or a fireball. It's not
sure. Yeah. I mean, they don't tell you any of the spells like they do in Harry Potter. Like, everyone says the spell when they do it. And I understand that that's stupid, and you got to get rid of that. But like, I don't know what spells they're using anymore. I really don't.
So we wrap up stuff. Queenie is back.
Yeah. So hold on, by the way. So Queenie's with the bad guy the whole movie. Yeah. And she's having doubts, whatever. I don't know. Her story isn't explained very well. But then he just leaves, and then she's just like, "Okay, I'm good again." It's like, no, bro, you were on the bad. You know, everyone's just fine with it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, they were all fine with Grindelwald just being like, "Oh, I didn't do anything."
I'm not fine with any of it, just for the record. It doesn't make any sense.
Because it doesn't make any sense in the sense of humanity. So Tina comes back. She's wearing like a sexy dress. Looks good. Grindelwald is just like, not Grindelwald. Dumbledore is just like sitting on a bench and doesn't go in for the wedding.
Yeah, as if like he's like an outsider to the group. I didn't understand, but everyone came and said hi to him because they all love him, and he's just like, "I'm not coming in. I'm not friends with you people."
I mean, he needs to be like this guy they're afraid of, right?
Or something either afraid of or like worship maybe or like I don't know. I don't know.
There's no separation between these things.
Not at all,
They're
except for
like,
he won't go into the wedding.
yeah.
He's just from what I can tell, he's just not very friendly.
And the marriage happens in the back of the bakery. It's very
I
weird.
guess so, yeah. It's a terrible wedding venue.
And that's the end of the movie. It's so weird.
It's so weird. It doesn't it's hardly a movie, and I watched it for 2.5 hours, which I'm mad at you for it, Dan. It's very long and very
Man, me,
boring.
you'd have watched it anyways. I don't know if I'd say it was very boring. I mean,
Really?
I watched it more than I played, like, on my phone while I was watching it.
I love that that's your your barometer. It's like how much was I playing phone games and how much was I paying attention to the film?
I paid attention to most of this film. I got through it. There weren't that I didn't. I mean, I stopped it a number of times, but I never walked
Of
out to
course.
Shannon and is like, I want to kill these people. I hate these people. Because I mean, everybody
Yeah.
looks good. The world looks good.
It's
The
beautiful.
magic scenes are good looking.
Yeah.
So you sit. I mean, yeah, when you're talking about the Creed and stuff, you're just like, oh, please stop.
Doesn't make any sense.
This Dumbledore stuff, you're just like, oh, please stop.
Yeah, none of it makes any sense. That's my problem. Like visually, yeah, it looks nice. I just wish that this was just more Fantastic Beasts. I don't know why they were like, let's call it Fantastic Beasts to begin with, and like trick you guys into liking these movies with all these wonderful creatures and like this really charming leading man who's kind of offbeat and not like the normal hero, and then we're just gonna not very slowly at all take him out of the forefront and give you a completely different story that has nothing to do with magical beasts whatsoever, and you're gonna watch it because fuck you. I don't like it. I don't like the bait and switch.
Yeah, it's like traveling to locations to like go to tea parties and dinner parties, and it's not to collect magic beasts. It's not to
No, it's
you
so
know.
boring.
Oh, I forgot. Like after he gets away from at the very beginning scene with Newt, this weird bird flies out and then blows itself up and then it picks himself up with the tail
Yeah.
and then flies away. It's really weird. Just
is
because
weird.
he's so unconscious and he's just like, and the bird just decides to do all this.
Yeah, just like, oh well, I better save this guy because he's not gonna save himself.
I mean, if he like did a whistle, and then the bird
Sure, like
came
come
out,
here, bird friend.
and
Yeah.
then it carried him, like he was all effed up. Make him all effed
Yeah.
up, I'm okay, but
Not in this
he's
movie.
like sleeping on his back, and
He's very tired. Okay, he had a long chase scene. Sometimes after I go on walks, I have to take a little mini nap just to get back to it.
anything else to say about this weird movie?
Yeah, Dan, I just the most egregious part of this film for me.
Oh, okay.
They fucking apparate into Hogwarts at one point. You can't do it.
What? I don't
You
understand.
can't apparate on Hogwarts grounds. You cannot do it.
In the past.
But Dumbledore's already headmaster, at least there. Like, I don't know. Maybe maybe in movie 5 they'll be like, well, now you can't do it. You can't do it. It's a rule in Harry Potter. If you're gonna break the rule, you have to at least explain to me why you're breaking the rule. Second thing is Jacob is just at Hogwarts. The fucking muggles at Hogwarts, can't do it. Not allowed.
What does that mean?
And
You're not allowed?
You're not.
Wow.
They're not allowed. Non-magical people aren't allowed at Hogwarts. It's a rule. It's a very strong rule in Harry Potter, and they're just like they don't care in these prequels. And again, maybe at the end of the 5 movies that we're not going to get, that's when Dumbledore's like, you know what, we need some rules about the school because it's just chaos here, and then he'll like fix all these magical spells. But it's weird to just not acknowledge your own rules that you set up in your universe.
I mean,
That's all.
he had to have that charming scene with the little kids, and they love him because he's a muggle, because they've never
I
met a
did
muggle.
like it. Like,
I mean,
it's fine.
It was a fine scene, but it didn't make any sense.
Of course, it didn't make any sense.
They acted like the muggle was like the interesting thing, and it's like these kids go back to their lives with muggles every day. They're just like,
100%.
whatever, dude.
Yeah, it's so bad. It's awful. And that's it. I was just really mad. Also, McGonagall is there. She didn't start teaching for about 15 years, guys. I'm not even sure she was born at the time that these movies take place, let alone fucking teaching. It's awful stuff.
Yeah, but it's that classic case where, it's like, Obi-Wan Kenobi had to own R2-D2 and C-3PO before for
Right,
some stupid reason.
does not work with your continuity, guys. Bad idea. I mean, Clone Wars, phenomenal. Just the best show they've ever done. But
Is that the
doesn't make any
cartoon?
sense. Yeah, that's the cartoon.
Oh, yeah, I've never seen it.
You've never wait. Whoa. Dan, you're a Star Wars fan, I thought.
No.
Oh, you don't like Star Wars?
No, I like Star Wars, the movie. I don't like the rest of the stuff.
Star Wars, the movie. That just reminded me of.
Yeah, Episode 4. That's what I like about Star Wars, and the
okay.
rest of it I find comically silly.
Sure, I mean I'm allowed. That's allowed
because I love how much all these people are invested in this thing, and it's so funny and sad.
I feel like you could say the same thing about Harry Potter. Probably not to the extent of Star Wars, but it's big.
It'll be that way.
They're just shitting on it all over the place. So
yeah.
Anyhow, Clone Wars are great. That's a great show.
Oh, okay.
Very fun.
That's good to know. So, Tony, tell us about something you did like this week.
Something I did like is, of course, Stranger Things that drops.
Oh, okay.
Stranger Things, Season 4, Volume 1, Part 1. Either one of the two. I don't know which one.
Yeah.
Boy, have you watched it?
I've watched the first 2 episodes and maybe part of 3.
I mean, they go full dark.
Really?
This is, listen, slight spoiler alert. I won't go into details, but there's a lot of dead kids this season.
Oh yeah, no, they just start killing kids.
Holy shit!
As kids that don't do anything, you wander in the woods the wrong direction. You're like,
and you're just
dead,
breaking your bones all over. It's like, oh my god! But it's cool, man. I'm having a great time. I'm midway through my second rewatch. So I'm having a good time.
And once again, it's the Steve show, it's the Dustin show, it's what's the girl that works with Steve? She's like so good. Oh god, she's so good.
Oh, Maya Hawke. Why can't I think of her name right now?
I don't know. She just like kills it. You're just like, oh my god,
phenomenal. I mean, here's the great thing about that show, I think, is the first season is very much like everyone's kind of equal parts. And then after seeing it, you're like, oh, okay, this guy is amazing. This girl is fantastic. And they're like, they do kind of like latch onto that. And everyone still has like moments, but they're like, these are the people you like. And these are the people that we like. And we're going to follow them mostly. Like Steve Harrington is one of my favorite characters ever. And he starts as a major douchebag and has a great like arc through season 1. And then he's so fucking charming, this kid.
He's so good. He's why you watch the show, and Dustin's really good too.
And they're like friends off screen, and it's so cute, Dan.
Oh, that's good.
They did like some interviews together, and they're adorable. Yeah, they're adorable.
So my pick for the week is the Nope trailer, which is what's his name's new movie? The guy that did the movies, Key and Peele.
What?
Jordan Peele's new movie. Nope.
Okay, I'm gonna Google it so I can watch it when we're done. Okay, I see it.
So the trailer came out like 2 months ago or something, and I never saw it. And then just at the NBA Finals, they released like a minute of footage or something, this bonus thing to get people excited. And at the end of that, there's a flying saucer. And so this is an alien movie.
Okay.
Or something. And this flying saucer you see for literally like 2 seconds. My brain melted. I'm just like, okay, I want to see this movie.
I'm so excited. Okay. I can't wait to watch this.
And it's the Daniel Kaluuya, whatever that guy's name is. I think it's that guy. I think it's him.
Yep.
It's freaking great. And then he's got like a girlfriend or sister or something, and she looks like she's freaking great. So really hoping this is better than Us, which Us was not terrible. It's just weird.
I never saw it. I never saw
you never saw it? It's interesting.
It's on the list.
I mean,
I'll see it.
After Whatchamacallit, which is one of the greatest horror whatever movies ever.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a perfect movie.
You're talking about Get Out, right? Just to be clear. Yeah. Okay, yeah.
Get Out, perfect movie. And just so, with Us, you're like, this is a weird movie. So I'm hoping this one goes back to being a perfect movie.
Either way, I'm excited. He's great. He's really doing some good stuff.
So next week we're doing the anniversary show 100 in the bag.
The Monocentennial!
So we've almost been doing the show for 2 years. No, 1 year. 2 years.
Well,
many
I mean,
years?
because we do it once a week. That's 50, almost 2
Almost
years.
2 years.
Yeah, wow. We do not have lives.
Yeah, pretty
Because,
much. Not
listen, we appreciate all the views, all dozen of them. You guys are doing great.
So we're going to talk about some of the past times, some of the good times, some of the bad times, and talk about some movies, and maybe have some clips to enjoy.
Oh, we'll definitely have some clips.
And we'll see what happens. Might be a 30-minute episode. Might be 2.5 hours of us just...
It'll be good just to catch up without all the pretense of watching a bad movie, you know? It'll be fun.
Yeah. So,
Robin. Her name is Robin.
Robin. Oh, she's so good. And they're working at the video store. Oh,
yeah.
Just great.
Yeah, it's great. Great stuff.
Just a bunch of great stuff.
And Max, the girl who plays Max, really kills it this season.
She's great. She's just
good for her.
Oh, she's like Taylor Swift's best friend.
What? Oh my gosh, now I like her even more. T-Swift. Come on.
T-Swifty. What was that movie? With her in it. We did her in some movie.
It was where her and the two Taylors make out. Why can't Valentine's Day? Is that the Valentine's Day one?
Oh yeah. Oof.
Yeah.
She was good.
Oof. Oof.
Oof. Yeah, so that's the show. If you like what you see, subscribe, leave a comment. Oh, we got somebody wants us to do a movie.
Well, let's do it. I mean, not for next week, because next week we're doing a little party.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Yeah, absolutely.
Robin Williams is Jack.
Oh, what is that? I don't even know. Oh, boy.
He plays like a 10-year-old, but he's 34 years old or whatever, you know?
Boy, that sounds creepy. That sounds right up our alley.
Yeah, so we're definitely doing that one. Maybe we'll do that one after 100, and then you can decide on 101.
I like it. Yeah. We'll do a
102.
guest. We'll do a guest spot.
Yeah, so for 101, we're going to be doing Jack, and then for 102 is going to be back to Tony making a decision,
and it'll be a surprise.
If you make a good request, we're going to do it, baby! Because the guy I think the guy watched our Bicentennial Man and was like, oh, you got to do Jack.
You guys like that movie. Boy, have I got one for you.
It's funny. I've been watching Adam Savage, the guy that did Mythbusters. He has like a big YouTube channel. He worked on Bicentennial Man. So in a couple of things he's done on there, he's talked about working on Bicentennial Man.
And how great it was and how it's better than The Notebook.
He talks about the suit and all that. And he's like, he did one of those things. It's like, people have a lot to say about this movie. One of those things where it's like, sure. I'm not going to sit here and try and defend it because a lot of people have negative opinions.
Well, tell him to call me up and I'll tell him how wonderful it was.
Stupid Tony. So we'll be back next week for the big anniversary show.
I'm going to keep saying Monocentennial until it catches on with you, Dan.
Monocentennial.
Monocentennial.
Yay!
See you next week. Goodbye, everybody.